this is almost too many plants. Said no plant lady ever. But seriously, I am so blown away by the amount of native plants that I have been able to find in the last few weeks, mostly for free or almost free. So, how did I do it? And where am I going to plant all of these beauties? Stay tuned to find out. So the first idea that I want to talk about is the idea of a plant swap. So if you've ever been to a clothing swap, it's similar to that. People bring from their bounty of what they have at their home plants that they've divided or things that they don't want anymore, and everybody comes together on a specific day. If your community isn't organizing one, maybe you could be the first one to suggest it and put it on a local garden Facebook page or something like that. But everyone comes together on a specific day. They bring their plants, label it with what they are, and then you share about what you brought, and folks can take home new plants or new to them plants. And I was able to get a lot of really great plants from a local plant swap that I went to, and I'm really excited about that because it means, for one, there's other people in my community who are excited about native plants. There were some vegetable plants too as well. I picked up like an ornamental eggplant, which I think is going to be fun to just see what it looks like when it grows. But it is exciting to know that other folks are interested in native plants and that they're trying to plant them in their yards, which means that this movement is not just something that I'm doing, but it's something that other people are doing as well, and that it's spreading and people are excited about it, and that's really encouraging. So this was a Liatris blazing star that I was able to get at a local plant swap for nothing at all. All I did was bring some of my plants to share. Another way that I was able to get some native plants for almost free, not free, but almost free, is to plant them from seed. So you can usually get native seed packs in, a myriad of places. There's usually folks giving out seeds of prairie mixes. You do want to be careful. Some of the wildflower mixes that you get in big box stores, they don't actually contain native plants. But if you go for more of the packets that are one single species, you'll know exactly what you're planting, or go to a trusted local resource near you. But I started some seeds, and I wanted to make mention of two different ways I started seeds and which one saw success and which one really didn't. So there were some seeds that I started by winter sowing. So basically in the fall, I just had an open flat seed tray left over from whatever I was planting last year, and I filled it with soil and put seeds in, and that was it. I wasn't expecting them to grow. It was late fall. I just left the seed tray out on the back porch at my mom's house, because this was before I moved into my house even knew if I had space to plant native plants. But I left the seed tray out over the winter. It was able to just use the natural cycle of the winter and the cold to do that cold stratification. So for seeds that need that cold stratification, they were able to go through that process naturally, the thawing and freezing as we had our natural winter. I just left the seed tray outside all winter long. When I moved to my new house, I just set it in the garage, and then eventually I moved it out into the backyard once I had a table to set it on. And those seedlings are looking way stronger than the ones that I started indoors under grow lights. I'll show you the difference. All right, so you can see here that all the plants on the right-hand side, these are the ones that I winter sowed. They're bright, they're green, they're healthy, they're coming up at their natural time, and they've got great color, which tells me that they're healthy and thriving. The ones on this side, these are also echinacea, so you can side-by-side comparison. Look how much smaller these ones are, and some of them have gotten burned in the sun, and they're not as happy as they could be. I am going to continue to leave the seed tray out here because I know that there's probably seeds that haven't yet germinated, that if I just leave the seed tray out, maybe by next year I'll get some healthier seedlings that I could plant out, and I might pop a few more seeds in here just while I'm at it. There's a couple of this grass that I planted. I'll have to go back and look at my video of where I planted these seeds to see what varieties these all were. But the ones that I started under grow lights, far less vigorous than the ones that I winter sowed outside. So 4 seeds that like cold stratification, like many native plants, starting them in the fall, either planting them in the ground if you're just doing a seed mix in a prairie section that you're starting, or if you want to start specific varieties in seed trays so that you can plant them out in your landscape in a more kind of collected or tidy looking fashion. Those plants you can winter sow. Just pop the seeds in a little seed tray, leave them out all winter long, and when they are big and healthy, you can plant them out in your landscape. So we went over plant swap. We talked about starting from seed. Another way that I was able to get native plants was through local plant sales. So if you look around your area, whether it's your town or your city or a local park or a nonprofit that cares a lot about wildlife, springing up all over the country are native plant sales. It is sometimes hard to get to good, trusted vendors of nurseries that sell native plants. They aren't always as plentiful or as easy to access as your big box stores, which tend not to have a great selection of native plants. But one of the cool things is that some of these native plant sales bring together several vendors. So it's both beneficial for these small sellers because they can make a lot of sales in one day, and it's a lot easier for the customers because they can just go to one place and shop a really wide variety of plants. So I was able to get from a couple different nurseries some really cool plants. Got this wild senna, which I'm excited to plant out. I got brown-eyed Susan. I got this really tall wild meadow rue, which I think is going to be just so fun and exciting to see. I just can't wait to plant this one out. This is little blue stem, which I believe is also the exact same grass that I had in my seed tray. So if you can think about, this is like the big healthy plant that you could get from a nursery or a professional grower plants versus what you could start yourself. It doesn't mean you can't start them yourself, but if you're going to do it, I would suggest probably planting them in the fall and doing the winter sowing method because that was more successful for me. If you have also tried this at home, let me know how you've been. If you have been able to be successful growing native plants from seed and what worked for you. I'm really curious. Let's see. Let's see, what else do I have? I think this is another. Oh, of course, you know, the obligatory common milkweed. Can't go without that in your garden. We want to keep our monarch butterflies happy. Uh, this is a blue mist flower, which is very, very pretty and attracts a lot of pollinators. And false blue indigo. So these plants, obviously, they were not free. Got them at a plant sale, so I did purchase them, but they were not terribly expensive. Most of these are really small plants that will grow to be big. They'll grow to be 3 foot, 5 foot by the time that they're big, by the time that they're fully developed. But buying them in these little small pots from these local nurseries, I was able to get them, much more cheaply, like 3, 4, 6, $8 for these plants as opposed to buying big gallon-sized containers for $15 or $30 at a big box store. Good morning. As usual, the weather in Ohio is not cooperating, and as soon as I decided I wanted to film, it started to rain. So I just wanted to show some of the cool native plant finds and some other vegetable garden finds that I was able to get either from plant swaps or local plant sales or gifted to me, just from family, friends, nice neighbors, and show you all the cool stuff that I now get to plant into my garden. So some of these things here I actually got at a local plant swap. So completely free. You bring plants that you have in abundance, other people bring things that they have in abundance, and you swap and share. If you've ever been to a clothing swap, it's a lot like that. And I was able to get a lot of really cool things, including some violets, which probably need to go in the ground immediately after I film. And is this one labeled Leatris? Three of those. Some chives, which I'm gonna just pop into the garden here in just a second. Wild blue indigo, which is gonna become big and bushy and beautiful. It makes these awesome seed pods that birds like to eat. So a really great native plant. This one is a cool ornamental that someone gave me. This one is actually called pumpkin on a stick. It's a type of an ornamental eggplant. And he grew it from seed, and I'm just so excited to see what it's gonna look like. I think this is gonna make an awesome fall decoration. All right, here we've got some phlox. I don't know what color, what type. We will just find out when we plant them. These little cuties are an ornamental plant, pins and chips. Got 2 of those. This is a really tall walking onion someone gave me. So we're gonna pop that one in the garden here in just a second. These little guys are cuttings from a succulent. So that is pretty cool. Right here, 2 more, not strawberry. I've got 2 more raspberry canes because you really can't have too many raspberries. In the last video that I shared, someone commented, oh gosh, if you put raspberries in the ground, they're just gonna spread. And honestly, I can't think of a better problem to have than too many raspberries. So if they spread and become huge and bushy, I'll divide them and give them to new folks. One more little baby lupine. So cute. All right, I think I decided I'm going to take one of the Leatris because they look a little sad and like they need to get in the ground. I'm going to take one of them and plant them in the back over there behind the vegetable garden, kind of just expanding the border outwards. And I'm going to take one, plop that in my front yard with the violets. And I already put the chives in one of the vegetable beds, the walking onion in one of the vegetable beds. And yeah, we'll see how far we can get. We got like a few minutes before work, but we are going to get some plants to the ground because that is what gives us joy, and joy is important. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today in the garden. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and let me know in the comments below, what successes have you found in trying to get native plants for your yard? What avenues have been most successful for you, and what are you struggling with? I have got some really big dreams for my garden this year. I'm hoping to transform it by putting in a fruit and vegetable garden and add lots of native plant landscaping to make this beautiful backyard that I have even more of a haven for local wildlife and for myself and friends and family to enjoy. If you want to follow along on that journey, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you can be the first to hear about all my upcoming videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.